Hey BMW.
Hello, what can I help you with?
Who are you?
Please select a category to display available commands.
BMW? BMW? Oh, BMW.
Hello, what can I help you with?
Call Bobby?
Okay, I'm calling Bang Bobby.
Hey, BMW ah?
Hello, what can I help you with?
Tune in to FM 89.9.
I'm playing the frequency 89.9.
Hey, BMW.
Hello, what can I help you with?
Navigate to Atria Mall.
I've zoomed out on the map.
Hey, Kit.
Hello, what can I help you with?
Can you check the engine oil level?
Engine oil level is okay.
Always wanted to do that. If only we can get a male voice. Alright guys, so here I am in the all-new G20 BMW 3 Series 330i M Sport. Alright, so during the launch day, I've already done a walk around of this car, and also we have also taken this car out on a short drive, so I've gotten some driving impressions as well as at an in-depth look of various details of this car. Okay, so after publishing the videos, I've monitored the comments and two feedback. All right, two major most of the comments usually revolve around two things. One, this is too expensive, and two, no auto braking. Well, we're not going to deny that, because at 329,000 ringgit, you can, the same money buys you a 5 Series 520i. All right, a bigger car. I mean, less sporty, yes, less powerful, but it's still a 5 Series. All right, and it also doesn't help that our expectations of what constitutes a reasonable price for the 3 Series, all right, has been tempered by the prices those EEV incentivized prices of the 318i as well as the 330e F30. Because if you remember, if you go further back, when BMW first launched the F30, the 328i, all right, which is the equivalent spec of this, and that did not have M Sport board, and there was not M Sport spec, was also above 300,000 ringgit. So if you look at it that way, right, 250 horsepower, fully imported 3 Series, 330,000 ringgit, that is about the going rate. I mean, if you think that is too expensive, of course, there will always be the locally assembled models which I believe will bring the price down or bring more equipment. Certainly, it will be the case if they were to introduce the lower powered versions, like say the 318i or the 320i, whichever that will come eventually. Now, the other thing to talk about is the absence of advanced driver assist features. No auto braking, no adaptive cruise control, and all these things. Not even forward collision warning. So, I mean, this is where the consumer comes into play. This will only change if consumers vote with their wallets and tell car manufacturers that we will only buy if car makers fit these features in. So if you want the likes of BMW and Mercedes to fit more of these things into their cars, then the only answer is perhaps more of you guys should buy Volvos. That's the end of it. Okay, so having already done the walk around and also the drive, in this video I'm going to focus more on the things that I did not manage to explore or dive deeply into during the launch event come drive. Right, guys, so here is the G20 from the outside, and we are very fortunate to get the car in this distinctive blue shade. All right, and of course, one of the comments about the G20 also in Malaysia, two comments about the exterior appearance is that, well, we do get the G20 in its most aggressive M Sport appearance, all right, and you can see that it has active grille shutter, so the grille here is closed when the engine does not require the cooling in order to give you better aerodynamics. Now, the headlights, all right, that come to Malaysia. If you have seen the global images of the G20, you'll notice that they have differently shaped illumination signatures. All right. Now that is because, right, those international images show the G20 with the optional laser lights. All right. Here in Malaysia, we get LED headlamps. All right, which is well, one step down from laser lights, but it is the appearance wise, it is admittedly less impressive than the lasers, and because the lighting signature, all right, is just because the daytime running lights, right, it's just these four lines. Okay, so overall it is less impressive looking than the lasers, but this is hardly a low spec headlight by any stretch of the imagination. These are adaptive LEDs, so they are still rather atas, rather mahal headlights. And let me tell you one thing, okay, about laser lights. They are expensive. Not only will they add considerably to the car's purchase price, they will also make accident repair very, very costly. So to me, speccing adaptive LEDs for our market makes a lot of sense. It is just that I would wish that at the global level, BMW would have given these adaptive LEDs an appearance that is not that far off from the higher spec laser lights. All right, I understand there needs to be a differentiation, but I think the LEDs, they themselves, these being decently high spec headlamps themselves, they deserve a more, you know, upmarket appearance relative to the higher spec headlamps. All right, and well, this little kink here, this is supposed to evoke or should I say, this is a reinterpretation of a very famous design cue that was last seen in the E46. Now we come here. All right, so a lot of people have also commented about the rims of the G20. All right, and we have seen images of once again overseas spec G20s with bigger, more impressive looking rims than these. Personally, I would say having driven this car, right, and having felt how firm the M Sport suspension is on the G20, right, I think speccing lower rim, smaller rims in this car is a good product call. And well, you can argue that the appearance can be better, but well, rims is something that you can easily change after you buy the car. Whether is it through official BMW rims or aftermarket rims, you can get pretty good sets, get 19s, yep, and spec the G20 up to your fancy. Or we have also shown, Bobby's video has also shown you the more garang looking 20-inch M Performance rims. You can certainly spend money on those and make your G20 look properly fierce. Okay, you come to the back here. Yeah, I also didn't notice this earlier, but you see the rear, all right, has a rather aggressive bulge on the rear wheel arch. Okay, and you come to the back. So you get a reverse camera here with the 330i, no 360-degree camera. And well, this is the reinterpretation of the Hofmeister kink. Now, one thing I want to show you is this. Okay, this is the key fob. Okay, the G20 does, at least not in our market, does not get the well, that fancy key with the screen, but it does get this. All right, this is a key card, which you lock and unlock the door by holding it next to the door handle. So you see here, door knob, right? It's locked, and you put this here to unlock the door. So with this key fob, you lock and unlock it with the usual way. All right, just touch this to lock and put your hand here to unlock. Right. Of course, the keyless entry is also available on all door handles, so you can lock and unlock the car from all door handles. Okay, so with this key fob, you use this exactly like per how you would with regular keyless entry systems. All right, but with this one, can you start the car inside? So I'm going to demonstrate. Now, so as you can see, the key fob is out there. I'm holding the key card here. All right, stepping on the brakes. Can't start the car. All right, so what you do is, if you want to start the car with this key card, put this here in the on the wireless charging tray. And there you go. All right, that's how you start the car. You notice my key fob is still outside. Okay, so I think this is a very nice touch. This is very useful when you are, say, you're going out for a jog or a hike or whatever. You don't want to carry this bulky key fob here. Carry this one. All right, this is simple, easy to store. Though I do wonder, can you duplicate this from any regular shop outside? Alright guys, so we are going to demonstrate the G20's Park Assist feature. Alright, stop. Select the parking space, which you saw before that. Takes hands off steering wheel. Okay. Okay, so the car, you see, it is changing gears without my input. I'm just putting the brakes on a bit because it was getting very near to the Vios at the side there. And alright, so it came to an automatic stop. Even put the transmission in park for me. So let's go outside and evaluate its handiwork. So you see the car is nicely parked in between the two surrounding cars. Alright guys, so the CRV that you saw earlier has just left, and so I'm getting back into the car for my next demonstration. Okay, so we are going to try out what BMW calls the reversing assistant. Basically, it memorizes all your steering inputs for the past 50 meters and allows you to trace back the way you came from before. So, all right, if you've seen my movement now, right? Let's try. Reversing assistant. So I've moved a total of 20 over meters from where I stopped just now. My foot is on the brakes. Okay, so stepping on the brakes does not cancel. All right, unlike older park assist system, is that when you step on the brakes, it cancels the movement. This one does not. This one, what do you call it? This one, it is something that allows you to keep in control of the car. It maintains that feeling of control as the car moves. So now I am backing into the spot. Right, so I've reached the end of the car. Let's get down and see whether we are back where we. Okay, now I don't recall the car being that close to the Vios, but it still managed to reverse my steering input sufficiently accurately that the car has ended up back within the bay that I vacated. So, well, it's successful, but be mindful that even though the car precisely replicates your steering inputs in reverse, it doesn't precisely guarantee that you trace back millimeter for millimeter the path that you took earlier. There will be some give and take, and the advice is keep your eyes open, watch your stand by your foot on the brake pedal at all times. Okay, here you can also adjust your distribution of your lighting, whether you're driving on the left side of the road or the right side of the road, because technically car makers are supposed to adjust the throw of your lights, all right, that the side of the driver's side headlights should angle a bit lower, whereas the passenger side headlights should angle a bit higher. So when you have this feature, this allows the car to self-adjust the relative angles of the left and right headlights, all right, which is rather good. This can only be adjusted when the car is on a standstill, all right, with the engine switched off. So the displays, you can choose, all right, to standardize the drive, so you can adjust the instrument cluster, whether does it shift relative to your drive mode. So if I disable, so now that I set this with I let this tick on, right? So when I vary the driving modes, the instrument cluster changes its appearance. Okay, so now it's in comfort and sport. But let's just say I disable that, right? I disable this, and whatever I do, sport, comfort, Eco Pro, doesn't affect the instrument cluster appearance. How do I come back here again? Instrument cluster, all right. So converted speed, additional information. Okay, so basically it is quite fixed, all right, what you want to display here. The center section of the screen really is fixed for navigation and nothing else. Okay, so I think one thing they could, because this is really BMW's first time radically redoing their instrument cluster. So I mean, up until recently, right, even when they have embraced digital clusters, the design of the cluster have always followed the traditional 2-gauge design, all right, that traces all the way back to the 1970s. So this is the first time where they're trying something radically different. It's probably not to everybody's liking, but I think it is a good thing that BMW is even trying to do things differently, right? So there isn't the rotary knob design headlight switch anymore. This is pure button operated. The default is auto. Of course, you can choose to manually activate the headlights, but I think most of us would just leave it to auto. Just activate the fogs on the fog lamp. So here we have it, guys. Just a quick run through of some of the rather advanced features here in the BMW G23 series.